I labeled today No Excuse Day Tuesday. There's no excuse to not do what it takes to achieve your dream. There's no excuse to even not have, if you have a dream and you're not really desiring it, there's no excuse for that, because the heat of desire will help you do that which it takes to make it happen. And even the things that at first you might seem uncomfortable doing, you know what I found? That the more you want something with all of your heart and soul, doing what it takes becomes not only easier, but you want to do what it takes. How important are your dreams to you? Are you willing to do what it takes with no excuse and without violating the rights of others? When we pursue our dreams, it's important that we feed our minds with daily food for thought. We can not only inspire others to help them achieve their dreams as well, but we can certainly accelerate our own accomplishments. And just a quick story about myself. 44 years ago, when I read my first personal development book, and I started my first home business, I was afraid to talk to people. I was afraid to speak up and offer my opportunity to others. And that was based on the fact that I was brand new and I had no knowledge with respect to personal development, and I didn't know that a few components needed to be in place in order for me to have that courage to do so. Well, in this reading this morning, toward the beginning of what we're going to talk about, Napoleon Hill wrote, he talks about the cooperation of other people. And, the definition of cooperation is the process of people working or acting together for common, mutual, or some underlying benefit, as opposed to working in the competitive mindset for selfish benefit. And, of course, when we start something new, we're on our own initially. We need to kind of transition that to inducing the cooperation of others. So I'm going to talk about our independent spirit that can sometimes actually hold us back from success if we adopt a certain philosophy along with it. Now, Napoleon Hill taught that, of course, success in this world is always a matter of individual effort, yet we would only be kidding ourselves if we believe that we can succeed without the cooperation of other people. And I'd like to expound on that in this manner. I'm sure that it's safe to say that most of us on this call today are building some sort of online business. We have a vital tool that we call an autoresponder to connect with leads that we gather from traffic that we produce, right? Communication with each other has evolved tremendously since Napoleon Hill wrote The Laws of Success 93 years ago. They didn't have cell phones back then, right? Or this daily mastermind morning call, or online meetings, or Zooms, or blogs, or broadcast emails to our list, and so forth. The list goes on and on. But one thing that, by virtue of reading Napoleon Hill's books, is that principles stand the test of time. And so we truly cannot say about the principles that Napoleon Hill teaches, oh, that's old school, right? And I mentioned that briefly before. He prefaces what I'm expounding on here with the fact that success is a matter of individual effort only to the extent that each person must decide in his or her own mind what they want, which of course involves the use of the imagination. And like when I was new in the home business profession, I had to use my imagination a lot because I wasn't educated at all in any of the principles or practices. But from the point of using your imagination, achieving success is really a matter of skillfully and tactfully inducing others to cooperate. And before we can secure cooperation from others, or even have the right to ask or expect cooperation from other people, we must first show a willingness to cooperate with them. Now, those weren't my words. Napoleon Hill writes that, which leads me to this. So many people today, when they're approached about an opportunity to earn additional income, they either don't know a specific reason why they would say yes to it, or they don't want their reason strongly enough or believe in it enough to not only do what it takes, but what's necessary to achieve success, according to one of the time-tested principles that Napoleon Hill teaches that I'm going to talk about here. We so often hear people, including leaders, some leaders say, oh, I don't want to talk to people. I'm not calling people. Hear me out here, because there'll be people who disagree with what I'm about to say. In essence, what people are saying is that I don't want to talk to people. That's old school way of communication. Folks, wake up and smell the coffee. Cooperation from other people is mastered once you have skillfully and tactfully learned how to do so by taking action. And I'll explain. And here's the kicker and the truth. If you don't want to talk with others by a conversation which involves either calling them on the phone or speaking with them via what today's internet provides us, because we can talk on our computers with each other, so it's not just the phone, right? And I'm not talking about just typing a chat back and forth, because frankly, inducing others to cooperate is way too important to just chat back and forth. In fact, that's oftentimes my own segue when I'm dealing with people. The majority of production that I do online is because I spoke with someone to induce the cooperation. And I'll talk about the principles involved in inducing that cooperation, which will make you not only have a paradigm shift, but it'll make you want to speak with people, what I'm about to share with you. I mean, how would you like that, right? If you don't want to take the time to talk with others, here it comes, right between the eyes, is because you either don't know what you want or don't want your so-called goal strongly enough to apply that principle, which is vital to your success. It's not that important to you. Whoa, that's serious stuff. Some of you probably just thought, whoa, it is important to me. Well, I'll repeat what I said a couple of minutes ago. We should talk one-on-one with others in order to induce cooperation. And before we have the right to ask or expect cooperation from other people, we must first be willing to cooperate with them. That's a principle that Napoleon Hill teaches in Lesson 8 in the Law of Success, which is the habit of doing more than paid for and needs our serious and thoughtful attention. And I'll finish with this. When you have a giving heart and spirit, when it comes to helping people in your teams, as well as inducing their cooperation, the hesitancy to talk to people disintegrates, and you actually experience a paradigm shift in your mindset about wanting to talk to them. Doing more than you're paid for is what your mindset should be when talking with others, combined with how badly you want your goal and how badly you want their goal, and you show them that. When I speak with others, we have a combination of things. For example, in helping somebody get set up with one of our business streams, we went over and above and took the time last night to help this individual who had no experience whatsoever. And we all know that sometimes, when people start learning something, they get confused and they need help. Rather than just, there's a video on that, we took the time to induce cooperation. And when you do that, folks, that provides something more important than anything else in your own business, and that's called retention, okay? How often had you had somebody quit your business because you not only didn't give them the time they needed, but because of their confusion combined with that, they went away. But when you help someone and take the time to go over and above the call of duty, including inducing the service of others to help you do that, like, for example, I asked my wife to help with this setup. And so we were on a three-way Zoom, and she handled, because she's done that so many times, helping this person get set up. So now what? That person sees that we gave service, we gave more than what we were being paid for, and it'll result in retention, which is keeping somebody in your business. Don't you want everybody in your business to stay, right? Doing more than what you're paid for is what your mindset should be when talking with others. Thus, taking your mind, this is important, taking your mind out of sales mode and into the service or helping mode that it belongs in the first place. Becoming a servant leader, and combine that with how strongly you want your goal, how important it is, and how important their goals are to them, you'll have the formula to overcoming the limiting belief and hindrance to induce the cooperation of others of, I don't want to call people or talk to people, mindset. Move the people, and the people will move the product. That, my friends, feeds the inducement of cooperation. With that said, you guys go and grow and don't let anyone steal your dreams.